Turning and turning in a widening gyre is how best to describe the situation within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as it appears the Falcons can no longer hear the Falconers in its fold. The PDP presidential candidate for the 2023 elections and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar seems to have ruffled the feathers of some party chieftains with his choice of Governor of Delta State as running mate. The governor of Benue State, Ortom, accused PDP leadership and the presidential flag bearer of disrespecting the first runner-up in the primary. Governor Ortom, who chaired the committee set up by Atiku to help him get a suitable running mate, said Atiku and the party leadership tried to talk to Wike on phone rather than going to meet him in person. In another crack in the wall of the PDP, the Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, said Nigeria's next president must be from the southern part of the country. Fayose insisted the party's constitution allows for power rotation. Hence, it is a southern president or nothing. Majid.
I watched Governor Ortom on one of the TV stations 2 days ago. And you could see that he was actually livid with rage, and he has every reason to be. He was chairperson of the training committee to decide who the vice presidential candidate to Atiku would be. And there were 17 members. They voted 14 in favor of Wike, according to Ortom, and 3 in favor of Okowa. So, Ortom's grouse is, when you know that you already have Okowa in mind, why allow us to go and vote? We gave you a report endorsed by the National Working Committee of the PDP that Wike had an advantage in terms of numbers. Out of 17, 14 to 3. And all of them signed. And they gave it to you. You said, okay, you look at it. The next thing you announced Okowa. And you expect Wike to be happy and the supporters to be happy. So, I mean, what Ortom is trying to say is that, and to add salt onto injury, he said Atiku sent some people to call Wike to talk to him. I mean, although it was on record that when Atiku defeated Wike at that primary, took the first flight to Rivers the following day. So, greet him and talk. He did same with all the other contenders that lost. But that was 2 weeks, before the issue of primaries. That was, just a visit to say, well, you contested with me, you lost. But then...
But isn't a visit enough?
No. See, if you had told him then, Wike, you can't be my running mate, it would have been a different ballgame. But you set up a committee to help you shop for a running mate, and 2 names were given, Wike and Okowa. 17 people voted. These are people of of very main repute, like governors and some NWC members of the party. Voted. It's not a vote of 8 to 7 or
it's not a close.
It's not a close contest.
But then, gentlemen, we've said it severally on this show that the candidate has the final decision. He knows best for himself.
Don't
you can see that I'm laughing. Let's look at 2 things.
All right.
Number 1, Constitution says before you can contest elective position in Nigeria, 1, you must be a member of a political party. And then 2, that political party must present you. That tells you that the political party has a skin in the game.
Yeah.
You can't just wish the political party away. And you have, I'm sure you are aware of 1 or 2 cases where a political party or so-called governorship candidate won election and somehow
there is a bias.
Somebody else, now they are saying no. Remember the story of who won the primaries in Rivers State, and then somebody else was presented. Eventually, he went to court, and the court says the party owns the votes.
The tickets, yeah.
Therefore, put Amechi there as governor. Do you understand? So that tells you right there. I think there's something we are. I think you are skirting around. There's something we need to say. Look, I told you earlier on, political parties are formed to advance private interests. Absolutely. We don't have political parties in Nigeria. What we have is just political platforms. People will be thinking of, a governor said to me that when he found himself in one of these EFCC gulags, he said, you see, they say we are working, nobody asked me to come and become governor. So I'm paying on my own. So when the advantages of being governor comes, I will take the advantages. Yeah. So now that I am facing the disadvantage, nobody is coming to share this with me now. So these people are looking out to advance their own private political interests. They are seeking for political power for whatever reasons, for themselves, for their financial stomach infrastructure, upliftment, for their region, for their religion, for their ethnic group, for whatever reasons. They want to be relevant. And this is what I think Vice President Atiku seems to be overlooking. You recall in 2013, 2014, when those 7 political parties, led by Atiku, migrated from PDP and went to another political party. And that party eventually defeated PDP. I hope they are not, somebody is not making the same mistake this time around. This is the man, that's Wike, the man who practically financed the convention of 2019. Yeah. Practically did everything. And the man, you may not like his politics. You may not like him. His name is Nyesom. I call him tiresome Nyesom Wike. But the point is this: he has worked. The Southeast and South-House has invested so much inside of PDP. You have to be very careful how you play your cards within that zone.
All right, gentlemen, how bad is this for the PDP, considering Wike's silence?
It's really, really bad. Wike has not been
talking.
Wike is holidaying in Turkey. He said he wants to relax and catch his groove.
Come back.
I understand he's in Dubai or somewhere.
No, he's in Turkey.
Oh, Turkey.
From Turkey. No, he didn't want to meet. No, Atiku is in Dubai.
Okay,
he didn't want to meet Atiku.
All right, that's right.
So, and the way Ortom spoke, Ortom said, when they asked Ortom, is he going to take a step? He said, well, he knows Wike, but for him, it's in hibernation.
He's going to pray. Right?
He's praying.
He's waiting for God.
It's like the PDP has a very, very serious problem. And the way Atiku is carrying on, it needs to be very, very careful.
Has to be very careful.
You see, you lost the presidential ticket in 2019. He went to Dubai. And he was going to school. And 6 months to 2023, he came back. Do some resources around because he has a structure. We gave him a very good fight. If Tambua had not stepped down for Atiku,
it would have been
it would have been a different ballgame. It would have been a different ballgame. And for somebody who has held this party, Wike has been funding the party in 22 states where the PDP has no governors. He has been funding it since 2019. So we can't treat him like that.
Majid, I would like you to please hold your thoughts. We have a caller. We have Ade from London.
Oh, good afternoon.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes. My contribution to this topic is that the way they treat my brother Wike is too bad. When PDP was almost dead, it was Wike and Fayose that stood their ground by PDP. At the end of the day now, look at the way they pay him. And though I'm happy Wike didn't win the presidential ticket, because if Wike has won that ticket, it would have been very difficult for Jagaban to win the election, because Wike is ready to spend any amount. But thank God he didn't win this thing. So Wike is in France now.
All right, thank you very much, Ade. Now, Lekon, let's leave out Wike's influence. He has spent 30 years financed the party. What exactly has Atiku done wrong? Because I would go back to saying that he knows what is best for him.
That's a very good. Repeat that question again. What exactly has he done wrong? the exact thing that he has done wrong is that significant members of the political parties, he has alienated them. And that has emboldened Oshoko to come out and say, South to Lokon. And that's significant. Don't think it's a joke. Don't think they can just scuttle the whole thing. You know, even if they can become enemy within, just for the purpose of teaching somebody a lesson.
Yeah. And you see, for Wike, Wike has a full grip of rivers. Now, beyond that, Wike has between 700 and 900,000 votes. And you can be sure that 80% of those votes is for PDP or whoever Wike wants to give it to. So you don't joke with that kind of person, especially with the obedient movement of Peter Obi, which is going to decimate more of PDP's votes in the southeast, in the southern part of the country, and also with Kwakwanso, with NMPD in Kano Jigawa axis, it will also decimate more of PDP's votes. So Atiku cannot afford to toy with a Wike and a Fayose. Fayose single-handedly delivered most of the delegates of the Southwest, including his own state, where he was a candidate. He scored himself 0 to please Wike. So you don't treat those people, and Fayose can make noise. It says one day that if he sees somewhere and you don't want to know that he is there, you're going to stretch his leg, uses to hit you, and you fall down. So you know that somebody is sitting down there. Exactly. If you don't want, so it will make himself relevant. So you don't toy with somebody like Wike and Fayose, and Wike has a war chest in terms of cash to cause enough trouble for any presidential candidate.
Okay. In 1992, during the SDP-NRC era, when Agbala Jobi and Sarumi were fighting, and they were asking somebody to step down for somebody, and somebody did not, Jakonde, who was in prison, gave instructions that voters should vote for NRC instead of SDP.
Yeah.
It can happen again.
And that's why Otedola became governor.
Yes.
That his name actually Ote. I mean, you are Yoruba. Ote Diola. Exactly. Today, I mean, it's very significant, and that I can see that playing out in PDP, unless they are able to resolve this issue before February.
All right, so let's look at the intrigues, the silence, and everything. Do we see Wike defecting?
Wike, I don't see Wike defecting. Wike has remained in PDP since 1998 when the party was formed. He might not defect, but he might do the party in.
All right.
He has, except they form a committee led by Atiku himself to go and beg him, or rather, not even beg him, to appease him, tell him why you took that decision. That's humiliation.
Okay.
If you come out and say, yes, Okowa is my choice, Wike won't be angry, but you set up a committee. They voted 17 people, 14-3, and you are picking 3 over 14.
All right, let's quickly take Michael from Oshodi. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. I'm a very serious fan of journalist hangout. But for weeks now, I think most of these political parties and individuals that run Nigeria done, those in PDP and the APC, you guys are over-discussing the issue and you're over-hyping them. I felt we should do more of even talking about other political parties. These people granted this country, and every day journalists they just keep talking about them, overhyping them. And these are people who brought us to where we are. Thank you, and God.
All right, thank you, Michael. Let's move on quickly now. Some groups are demanding for resignation of Senator Yochayu and other officials. Could it be because of this Wike saga?
Well, I think somebody claimed that he was fired, and then they say, no, it didn't happen. They say, you saw the presentation when Mr. Atiku Abubakar was announcing, it was obvious that the chairman was in cahoots with him. Understand? So the friend of my enemy is my enemy. The enemy of my friend is my friend. So therefore, politics is about intrigue. See, look, let me migrate you back to APC. What happened on the eve of the primaries? When somebody announced that somebody has been picked as a consensus candidate. Do you know that that individual who was denied by his own vice chairman, and then the president practically withdrew, and then the progressive governors, northern governors came out, well, they said it leaked, it leaked, but they took a position. Yeah. The man has not been speaking so much in the last 2 or 3 weeks after Emilokon took over got the ticket. Do you understand? Yosha Ayu has to be exceedingly careful if he needs to continue to be chairman. And let me also add, I have no proof of anything, and I'm not saying that, I'm not making any allegations. Some people assume political positions in political parties, rather. And then for decisions to be made in favor of people, there is some nice handshakes that I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
You know, some people carry things all around and all that. So some people profit from these things. I hope this is not the case. You know. And
another issue is the fact that the two political parties have some written conventions, some unwritten rules, where they talk about power rotation. And in PDP, there was this unwritten rule. Before they now said they wanted the best to emerge, some of them zoned, the southern governors zoned the presidency to the south, while they zoned the chairmanship to the north. And now there's a delicate balance or rather delicate imbalance in the PDP, where both the chairman of the party and the presidential candidate are from the north. So that's why some people are saying, Ayu must step down to allow a southern chairman to emerge
and it makes all the sense.
Which makes a lot of sense. And that even the ruling party, they were able to recognize the fact that there should be power rotation, and they have picked their own presidential candidate from the south. That's right. So I think the call, of course, you can't say Atiku should withdraw now as a presidential candidate because he has emerged, and there are rules by INEC that, that are statute bad. They can't conduct a fresh. But then that of the chairman can still be argued. Exactly. So that's why they want to make him the sacrificial lamb.
All right, Majid already took us there. The agitation for rotational presidency is raised by Fayose. If PDP refuses or does not, mend these fences, how does it impact the party, especially as the electionary campaign just closed?
If the presidential candidate does not close ranks with Wike, we have already hinted you that you can. There's something that was during the Spanish War. 4 columns of military were invading. Of the enemies were coming inside of the city of Madrid. Now, citizens of the country joined. And then they said that was the 5th columnist. I'm trying to say to you that you can have an enemy within that can scourge the whole thing, and then move to another party, even if we think Wike will not move. Oshoko has said openly that he will never leave PDP.
Yes.
But who says?
For other parties.
As something happened in 2011, is somebody who belongs to another political party worked for Goodluck Jonathan to be president.
And the Ekiti election brings to mind what we are just talking about.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
There was no flag presentation to the candidate of the PDP. Nobody from the national, from Atiku to the chairman, nobody went to Ekiti to campaign for the PDP candidate.
But that also triggered Fayose's anger.
Fayose, on the day of the election, he did not vote.
Yes.
This Osun State.
And the same is playing out in Osun State.
Osun State. None of the governors showed up in Osun State. It's telling you something. They had better be very, very careful. If the chairman is going to be sacrificial lamb, let it be, so that for the survival
of the
party. Because I will say this, Nigeria must not have a singular party. We have to have at least 2-3 strong, vibrant political parties, so that one can...
No, Obi is coming up.
Yeah.
And Kwankwaso is coming up too. So
we need to have that. We can't have a one-party...
like the other caller said, it's not as if we are promoting these guys, but then if you understand politics in Nigeria, there is no way you can wish away these names.